welcome to my channel where I'm documenting my weight loss journey with Slimming World. My name's Shell. Welcome if you're new to the channel, and if you're coming back and you've been before, thank you so much for coming back. It's a little bit cold today. We've been having a bit of a heat wave here in Wales, but it's quite cool today, which I prefer. Somebody said at group the other day that it's 18 weeks till Christmas, which sounds very close now. But it does mean, guys, that if we were to lose or aim at losing a pound a week, we've still got plenty of time to shed a stone before Christmas, which would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be really nice. I am still hoping to be at or around some sort of target level by Christmas, and I know other people are. I've heard quite a few people aiming for a Christmas target this year, so that would be really nice. I'm sorry I missed my last week's video. There was a hiccup here, and by the time it was resolved, I just thought it's getting on so late I might as well combine the two videos into one this week. So it is a 2-week weight loss. I don't know how to start really. I think I really need to just do this in chronological order. A fortnight ago I went to group and I put a pound on. During that week I had stuck to plan utterly, but I'd been quite hungry, so my meals had been bigger, and that really was why I think I had a pound gain. I know people say I stuck to plan, so I don't know where it came from, but I do remember thinking, oh, I've eaten quite a lot this week. All my meals were just generally bigger, so I think that's where the pound gain came from. So that was last Tuesday, not last Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays ago. That weekend on the Saturday, we had a message from Welsh Water to say that there'd been a burst pipe in a reservoir, just coming from a reservoir, and that we may notice that the water pressure would be down, which it was. It was sort of wavering up and down for a few days, but they said that they were repairing it, so that was fine. I went to group on Tuesday again. This is the following Tuesday, and this is the last, it was the last day we had with our old consultant alone. It was lovely. She did the old style group. I think she's given up doing the new one because she's only got a couple of weeks left with us now. So we had the old style group on the Tuesday, and I did win the raffle, which was lovely. It was such a nice, she does some lovely prizes for the raffle, and I had it was like a salad, but it was like a salad that had been done for 2 people. So it had a small gem lettuce in it, half a cucumber, half a dozen cherry tomatoes, and it was just made up so that you could get, you know, salad for 2 out of it and a bit more. It was lovely. And also that came with it were these. I know I was talking to Byron about plastic bags the other week. These are freezer bags. I believe they came from Aldi, and there are 3 freezer bags. I'm showing you this one because Andy said that this one was the nicest one. But that they've got not Ziplocs, but those ones that you press together, and they're quite thick. If you can hear, they're not really thin plastic. But all over them they've got pretty flowers and birds. That's that one. There's one at the front there, and then the one at the back. Yeah, that's the one at the back there. So they've all got pretty flowers and birds all over them, which I thought was really cute. And I am guilty of using ordinary freezer bags. I use them a few times and then throw them out. But these ones do feel like they could be washed. I haven't used them yet because I wanted to show them to you. But they do feel like they could be washed and used over and over and over again. So I thought that was such a pretty idea. I like the idea of them having those on. And I also won these, they're like the lock and load tubs. These ones are oblong, and I think there are 4 in there, which is, again, is a nice prize, a useful prize, because the ones I had have got a bit grotty, and I think I've put the lids down on top of the cooker when the cooker's been too hot and they've been melted a bit, so these will come in very handy. So that was, I thought, and there was something else as well, but I can't remember what it was now. But I thought that was a lovely prize. She has really gone and helped, you know, make winning the raffle a real treat. So the weight loss on Tuesday, I lost 2.5 pounds. And I was over the moon with that. It was a big loss for me. I don't normally lose anything like 2.5 pounds. It's usually a pound, 2 pounds if I'm really, really lucky. But to lose 2.5 pounds was fantastic. And I also got my 2.5 stone award, which in all the years that I've been going to Slimming World on and off, I'd rather say decades that I've been going to Slimming World on and off, I've never reached my 2.5 stone award before. So that was it was a big landmark for me. That took me down from, I started earlier this year, I think it was in March, I started at 11 stone 9, and I was down to 9 stone 2.5. No, 11 stone 9.5 I started at, and now I was down to 9 stone 2.5. So that was lovely, and as I say, it was quite an emotional group because it was the last one our consultant is going to have. This week she was away on holiday, and next week it's going to be her and the new consultant who's taking over. So it was very emotional. It was quite a quiet group. A lot of people were on holiday. Now when we got back from group, Andy came to pick me up, and when we got home there were 12 2-litre bottles of water sitting outside the house on the step. So we brought that in, and there was another message from L.O.S.E.R.S saying that they were going to have to repair this pipe and that the water pressure would be down for the next day or so, but it would be fixed by Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening, and this water was just in case the water went off at all. So okay, that was fine. So Wednesday night, late Wednesday night, the water went off completely. There was no water. So, right, okay, no worries. Wednesday morning, still no water, and there was another set of bottles, 2-litre bottles, dropped off by Welsh Water outside the door. No, fine. And there was a message saying that it would be fixed later that day, but it wasn't fixed. So, I hadn't had a shower the day before because they said the water pressure was really down, and I thought there's no point, I might as well wait until it comes back tomorrow. So the water was off all Thursday, and it was off all Friday, but we told all our friends and family, oh, don't bother dropping water off because it's been delivered to us. Well, they didn't deliver anymore from Thursday morning onwards, and if you wanted some you had to go drive round to the leisure centre to pick it up where they were handing bottles out there, which we obviously couldn't do. So there was we didn't get any more water on the Thursday or Friday, and in the end I wasn't sure what to do because we had no water and there was no idea. They were starting to say then that it might not be coming back till Monday, and I didn't know what to do. So I rang my local councillor, who's a lovely bloke. I think he's been councillor all the time I've lived here, which is 30 odd years, and there's been 3 or 4 times when I've needed his help in the past and I phoned him and he's always sorted things out. So I gave him a ring and I said, we've got no water. So he brought us round some of his own personal water and dropped it off, which was really nice of him. And I had been going to do my video Thursday, but of course they'd said the water would be back, so I thought, well, I haven't washed my hair for 2 days and I felt really dirty. So I thought, well, I'll wait till Friday, do the video Friday. Well, no water appeared Friday, so that's 3 days I hadn't washed my hair, and I was feeling even more grubby, because believe me, when you're having to wash just with wet wipes, you don't feel as clean. It doesn't really wash you, it just wipes you. And the toilet was a real problem because it took 6 litres, so three of the bottles of water to flush the toilet, and we only had 12 for 2 days. So this is becoming a real problem, and things start to smell very quickly, believe me, and for cooking and making cups of tea and dishes, the dishes just got left for 2 or 3 days. We're starting to run out of pots. And anyway, Friday night we mentioned to people that we were really short of water, and then everybody who knew us dropped water off at the house. So by Saturday, and even now, we've got upwards of 50 2-litre bottles of water in the house. And it did come back late Saturday night. but that meant we'd have no water since Wednesday, and it was really difficult. But people were so kind. All our friends and relatives were dropping bottles off. Every time we opened the front door, there was bottles stacked up outside, and people were texting us, just dropped off water, and neighbours. Most of the neighbours cleared out Friday night, we noticed. By the time it got to there, we saw them all packing their cars up. Some went camping, some went off to relatives. People just left. People in the street, they just went. Because it wasn't just our town, it was all the towns round about. There were thousands of people, nobody had any water. And of course there were no standpipes because there's no water coming into the area. So that was that. And Saturday night I had a shower, and Sunday I had a bath. Oh, I've never been so grateful to have water. And just to be able to flush the toilet, we were both cheering every time we flushed the toilet. And just to get clean and get the place clean and get the dishes, the kitchen clean, it was lovely. But by the time I felt clean, it was Sunday, and I thought, well, I'm not going to do a video now, I'll leave it until today. Everyone was quite jolly about it though. Nobody seemed to really let it get them down. There were lots of jokes flying around everywhere about people bragging about having a wash. I have actually had a wash today. And they said that the shops had run out of dry shampoo, and it was, oh, but I was so glad. You don't realise how quickly things start to feel grubby when you've no water. So that was the end of that week. I did shopping that weekend. See, I would have bought water from the online shopping if I'd have known, but each day they said it'll be fixed tomorrow, it'll be fixed in the morning, so you never knew it were going to be that short. The new thing I tried this week were these. I got them from Ocado, and there's a whole range of these which I haven't seen before. They're called Biffs. These ones, they do all, mostly chicken products, I think, vegan chicken products. These ones were Biffs plant-based or no meat chicken wings, and I just saw these as I was leaving the Ocado shopping. You know, they often say, oh, the flash sales, and this was in there. I think they should have been about £3 or £4, but they were on offer for less than £1, so I thought, well, I'll give them a go. And I looked them up, and they were 2 sins each on Slimming World. Each one was 50 grams. There were 4 in the packet. And you could freeze them straight away, which I did. I put them straight in the freezer. So when I got them out of the freezer, I just got one out, put it in the air fryer, and when it was cooked, I fished it out with a spatula, put it on the plate, went upstairs to eat it, and I was cutting away with my knife and spork that Jane Day bought for me. I was cutting it and I couldn't cut through it, and I thought, oh no, I haven't cooked it enough, it's still frozen in the middle. But no. What they've done is they put in an artificial chicken wing bone into the middle of the bloody thing. That's just beyond me why you would do that. Now, I have saved it for you. Here it is, the bone that was inside, and it was only a small 50 gram, almost like a big nugget thing, and that is the size of the bone. Now I'm going to hold it up against my finger. There's the bone. And there's my finger. It's a piece of wood, basically. Well, it's not. Auntie says it's not wood. It's fibrous material. Okay, it feels like wood to me. And for anybody, Jane and other people that can't see, it is pretty much the size of my middle finger. Holding it up, it's this the width, length, and size of my middle finger, and that was inside. Now, by the time you got to what was surrounding this wing bone, there was hardly anything there. It was 50 grams, and this, I weighed this, it weighs just over 10 grams, I think it weighs 11 grams. But when you buy the product, it says the box contains 200 grams, but by the time you take into account the 4 wing bones, that's like 50 grams, that's like a quarter of the box is just going in the bin, which it infuriates me, not only because it's just a waste of time. I felt like I'd been ripped off, and it was made of jackfruit, which was why I was interested, because I'd like to know more about jackfruit and cooking it. But there was so little jackfruit around the outside of the product that I didn't really get to see what it was like. I don't recommend them. I'm not sure what their other products are like, or whether they've got loads of inedible material stuck in the middle of your food, but there you go. I would not recommend buying those, I felt. I felt cheated. And they weren't that nice anyway, to be fair. So that was the only new product that we've tried this week. On to the next Tuesday, which was 2 days ago now, I went to group and I lost £1. So that takes me down now to 9 stone, 1.5, and I'm so close to getting into the 8 stones, I can't believe it. I cannot believe I'm going to weigh 8 stone something within a matter of weeks. I'm so excited. I don't even know the last time I weighed 8 stone. I know I was in the 8 stones in the year 2000, but I think that was the last time. I don't think I've been in, in May 2000 I weighed under 9 stone. I think that was the last time. So I'm beyond excited to get into the 8 stones. It will mean more to me than any half stone or stone award. It was a nice group. We had another consultant. We had the Friday morning consultant in our group because ours is on holiday, and it was very different. Our consultant is kind of my age, very quiet, very homely and motherly, and we tend to just have a nice quiet conversation between us, whereas the Friday lady, she was excellent, but she was a completely different kettle of fish. She was really loud and energetic, and and I'm not sure. She was very nice, but I think I prefer something a little bit quieter. But our new consultant was there as well. Amanda, her name is. She's going to be in the group next week, and then she starts officially in 2 weeks. So I met her at the weighing scales, but I didn't know what she was like. But apparently they told us she's lost almost 16 stones with Slimming World. So she's going to know what she's talking about. And I'm looking forward to seeing what advice and what inspiration she can bring to our group, because that is something. She's lost more than I weighed at my heaviest, which is absolutely incredible. I found it hard enough to move around being that weight, so to imagine what it must be like to lose more than that is quite a feat. I can't wait to hear what she says, and I'm going to ask her to tell us about her journey. But that's for in a fortnight, so I'll tell you how that goes. And the only other thing is that I've been doing a little bit more exercise. This morning I ran on the treadmill. Now I haven't run for I think about 40 years. I've never run anywhere. Before I lost my sight, I used to be a big runner. In my teens, late teens, I used to run outside. I used to do running, roller skating, swimming, and that's what I used to do. But since losing my sight, I stopped running, and I haven't done anything for all that time. And I wanted to ask if anybody else has felt like this, because I've joined up something to start doing this Couch to 5K, and it starts on the 1st of September with an app called Revision. Now Revision is an app set up for blind people, or basically anybody who would rather have audio exercise classes rather than visual ones. It's got a 14-day trial on, but at the minute, because they're starting this Couch to 5K on the 1st of September, they're going to run the free trial from now up until the 14th of September, so you get to try the first 2 weeks of this joint effort of the Couch to 5K. So if you fancy doing that, they say you can do it by running on the spot, by running outside, by running on the treadmill. However you can manage it, they'll fit it in around you. I'm going to do this on my treadmill, my old treadmill, and I'm going to let you know how it goes. I thought I'd limber up a bit today by running for a bit. I managed about 2 minutes before my chest was burning, and oh dear, I felt so unfit because I walk on it for an hour a day, but that's nothing like running. Anyway, that's what I did today, but the problem was that when I used to run, when I was a teenager, I would run and my body felt like one thing. When I was running on the treadmill today, and this has happened when I've tried before, I felt like I had a skeleton and then a big heavy fat suit that was jumping up and down on the outside of my bones. And I wanted to know if anybody else has lost weight and started running, does that go away? Because it was very uncomfortable, even on my legs and my arms, my body. I felt this huge, heavy outside suit was leaping up and down, and then my bones were doing a different thing. It was very uncomfortable. I don't know. Oh dear. So I'm hoping that perhaps that'll tone up, or maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, perhaps because I was on the treadmill and it's a bit harder running on there. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but I'm going to give it a try, and I would love to. I'd love to do it. I would love a better treadmill. I only bought this to carry me through lockdown, and it's still going. So whenever it breaks, I will buy a really good one, because I never thought I'd take to it like I have done. I've had it all those years, since about 4 or 5 years now, and I've used it almost every day for an hour. There was, between January and March last year, I didn't use it because I wasn't well, but apart from that I've used it every day. So if you've taken up running, please let me know if this horrible feeling of having the big fat suit on, jumping up and down, will go away. I'd love to know, because it would give me a bit more enthusiasm towards it. So that's all I've got time for this week. Let me know in the comments below how you've been getting on. I really enjoyed going to Lisa and Rufus's Losers Club on Wednesday. If you haven't been, you can see the link to it in my comments below. And it is a fantastic club to join if you need encouragement, no matter what diet you're doing. If you want to come in and be part of a club where we all join in, chat and talk about our weight losses and how we've done in the week, I can't encourage you to give it a try enough. Till then, and if you go to Lisa's and Rufus's club, I will interact with you there. If not, I'll see you next week, and I hope that you'll see less of me. Take care then. Bye.